Hello everybody and welcome to race number 34 of Season 1 NASCAR Walmart Cup Series and the 8th race in the chase for the championship. Hi, I'm Levi McIntyre, aka ThrashManiac99, the voice of NASCAR Walmart Cup Series, here to welcome you to the Kentucky 400 here at Kentucky Speedway. Now this is a 1.5 mile track in a similar layout to tracks such as Chicagoland, Las Vegas, and Kansas. The only main component is it's a little more flat than those tracks, so we're going to see not as fast of speeds, but we're going to see some pretty good racing here, I would hope, not a wreck fest, but we will find out when we go green here at Kentucky. But also, we are winding down in terms of the chase and the season, because this is the 8th race in the chase, the 34th race of the season. So that means only 2 more chase races and 2 more races in the season in general. And in between the finale and the next race, we're going to have the non-points race at Bristol in the Demolition Derby. I'm going to explain that race when I get to it. But anyways, let's get on to the starting lineup here for this race. Starting on the pole is going to be the 6 of David Rivera. Now, he came close to winning last week back at Phoenix. Led the most laps, but got passed by Ian Dutta, and he didn't get the win. Can he win this week? We'll find out. Starting second in his second highest starting spot of the season is the 7 of Chris Michaels. Now, Chris Michaels comes into this race. Chris Michaels comes into this race 37th in the points. Can he get a win before the season's over? We'll find out. Starting third is going to be the 10 of Cameron Bailey. Now, Cameron Bailey is a very good running up driver as far as non-chasers. He is 20th in points. He's showing some promise for potential series here in the NASCAR Walmart Cup Series. But can he win before the season's over is the question. Starting fourth is going to be the 83 of Jordan Culp. Now, Jordan Culp comes into this race 29th in points. Can he win before the season's over? We'll find out. Rounding out the top 5 is the highest contending chaser at the moment. The guy who comes in second in points is Austin Weiner. Can he get his 5th win of the season and break Chris Washer's record and his own record? We'll find out when we go green. Starting in the 6th position is a driver who's tied in the points for the driver outside the chase in 17th with Ian Dutta, and that is Dylan Young. Can he get a win before the year's over? We'll find out. Starting in the 7th spot is going to be Chris Dollarton, and he comes into this race in 34th in points. Can he win? We'll find out. Starting 8th is eliminated chase contender and the driver who comes into the race 16th in points, Matt McIntyre. Can he get his 2nd win of the season? We'll find out. And then starting 9th is going to be Trent Dunham. Now, Trent Dunham's been getting himself good finishes, but he wants to get a win before the season's over. Can he do it tonight? We'll find out, as he is 25th in points and starting 9th. And rounding out the top 10 is eliminated chase contender who is 12th in points, Chris Washer. Can he get his 5th win of the season? We'll find out. Then the rest of the field is chaser Jessica Sheldon, chaser Cole Daly, Eric Burden, last week's winner Ian Dutta, Seth Cole, Cody Hagan, Sonny Hammond, Henrietta Fitzwater, Rue McIntyre, Ian Siegel, Then it's Nick Smith, Dylan Thero, Nathan Hudson, eliminated chase contender Charlie Rodriguez, Kyle Matthews, chase contender Michael Norman. Yeah, chase contender Michael Norman. Joshua Michaels, eliminated contender Austin LaPlante, contender Barney Taylor, and he is tied for second in points with Austin Weiner, and that is Cody Lamas. Then it's eliminated contender Fred Schaefer, Charles Jackson, points leader Noah Hart, Chris Nelson, eliminated contender Danny Wells, contender Daniel Day, eliminated contender Chris Oliver, Tommy Mooney next to him, then Carlos Rodriguez, then Henry Nova, and then rounding out the field is eliminated contender Zachary Fitzwater and Ibrahim. That is a look at your starting lineup. We are now getting ready to go racing here at Kentucky. Now you see where there's the dark spots on the track as far as lines. That is the area you want to be on if you want to get passes and get grip. If you're above the shaded part of the track, you're going to go up in the marbles and get pretty loose and probably get the wall. So that's another key component to this race. But everybody's coming down to take the green flag. Here we go. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing, boys and girls. And David Rivera is trying to keep the bottom lane going to keep the lead here. Now there's that little flat part of the track that's part of the apron the drivers can run on and keep it together as well. And Rivera looks like he might be able to keep the lead. But down there on the very bottom is Cameron Bailey and Austin Weiner battling. And David Rivera is going to lead lap 1 out of 41 here at Kentucky. And we are still clean and green here. Let's take a look at who's running in the back here. There you see Daniel Day in the middle between Carlos Rodriguez, but now it's double file. Behind Fred Schaefer is points leader Noah Hart, running here in the 33rd spot. And then Cody Lamas, I don't see him anywhere at the moment, but David Rivera pulls out to a decent-sized lead over Chris Michaels. So far, we are clean and green here at Kentucky. But you gotta wonder, when would a caution come out, is the question. And funny enough, the caution is just now out. Barney Taylor and Austin LaPlante wreck. Barney Taylor and Austin LaPlante wrecked, and Barney Taylor did not need that to happen, because he was hoping to get around Daniel Day for 4th in points to get back up into contention for the championship, but now he may be in trouble. As the caution is out, David Rivera is your leader. We're going to take a look at a replay to see what brought out the caution for the first time tonight here at Kentucky. Well, here's a look at it. It looks like Austin LaPlante got really, really tight coming off of this turn, and Barney Taylor had a good run, but they just made contact, and they both go up into the outside wall. I think Austin LaPlante is going to get the worst of that, but let's take a look at the helicopter camera to see a great view of the wall hits. But yeah, LaPlante was tied off the turn, and he just also had Barney Taylor running up next to him, and they just made contact together, and then they go up into the outside wall. But I believe both cars are going to be able to continue here. Barney Taylor was able to drive away, and now LaPlante drives away as well. So really, we got away with only a 2-car spin, and they both hit the wall a little bit, but not enough to put them out of the race. So that is a look at what happened. We will now take you to the restart. Caution lights are out or on the pace car. And interesting pit strategy. Some guys came down pit road. Some guys may not have. But updated and nobody's out of the race. But Trent Dunham is your leader. Second is Charlie Rodriguez. Third is Chris Oliver. Fourth, Cameron Bailey. Fifth is Cole Dally. Sixth is Chris Michaels. Seventh, Dylan Young. Eighth, Cody Hagan. Ninth, Henrietta Fitzwater. Rounding out the top 10 is Jessica Shelton. Then it's Rue McIntyre, Kyle Matthews, David Rivera, Ian Dutta, Jordan Culp, the top 15. Then it's Chris Dollarton, Michael Norman, Sonny Hammond, Chris Washer, and Dylan Thera, the top 20. Then it's Matt McIntyre, Seth Cole, Austin Weiner, Nick Smith, Zachary Fitzwater, the top 25. Then it's Nathan Hudson, Charles Jackson, Joshua Michaels, Chris Nelson, Daniel Day, the top 30. Then it's Cody Lamas, Henry Nova, Fred Schaefer, Noah Hart, Ian Siegel, the top 35. And then it's Carlos Rodriguez, Ibrahim, Danny Wells, Tommy Mooney, and Eric Burden, the top 40. And then it's Austin LaPlante and Barney Taylor rounding out the field. But now we are getting ready to go green, and I do apologize for the freeze. I was checking something, but we're back. And they're getting ready to take the green flag once again. Green is out. And if I can count, we are 33 laps to go here in this race here at Kentucky. Meanwhile, everything's good right now. First car to step down to the bottom on the track up front, it was Cameron Bailey, but now he's going to go back in line. And Trent Dunham is going to keep leading. There you see Barney Taylor and Austin LaPlante. They're up to speed, so they were fortunate that they didn't hit the wall hard enough to get not up to speed. So everybody's still on track, on the lead lap, up to speed, racing still going. And Trent Dunham still leads the way, and it is 31 laps to go here at Kentucky, and we're not halfway through just yet. Let's take a look and see where contending chasers are running. There you see in 6th is Dylan Young, or not Dylan Young, Cole Dally, excuse me. He's running in the 6th spot. He's the highest running contending chaser at the moment. Then the next contending chaser running is 12th of Jessica Shelton. Then Michael Norman in 17th. And then Austin Weiner in the 24th spot. Then Daniel Day in 28th. Then Cody Lamas 30th. Then Noah Hart 34th. And then Barney Taylor in dead last at the moment. And we are still green, and now we have a battle for the lead. Trent Dunham and Charlie Rodriguez battling for the lead, and Chris Oliver is sneaking into this battle as well. Despite that caution, we've been seeing really good racing with these drivers here. But it's like I said, the drivers who are running that shaded part, that groove on the track, are going to get some good runs. If you're above the shaded area, you could most likely get loose and get up into the wall because of the marbles being up there. Plus, the shaded part means it's more grippy with rubber down on the track so you can drive better. But Trent Dunham continues to lead. And we are still green flag racing here. Let's take a look, see who's running in the back. Still Taylor and LaPlante, but they're running up to speed. Let's see where Noah Hart is. He is next to Cody Lamas right there for 31st, 32nd right there. And it's 3 wide for that battle too. Then Austin Weiner's just a little bit ahead of him. But man, Austin's been kind of losing ground on the track. At least for the most part, but he needs to get ahead of a couple cars so that way he can have a good cushion between himself and Noah Hart, because literally right behind Austin Weiner is the points leader, Noah Hart, and he's going to try to get to the inside of the 5 car. Let's go back up to the front, see if the lead has changed any or not. And no, Trent Dunham continues to lead the way. But Charlie Rodriguez is trying to make a comeback at him and try to get the lead back. But Chris Oliver's just quietly running behind these guys, waiting for a moment to strike. And now Charlie's going to run the high line a little bit higher than Dunham did, and he got a good run off that. Let's see if he can get a run here in turns 1 and 2 on Dunham. Doesn't look like he's able to get a line going to get around the 1 car. And now here comes Dylan Young into this fray as he's pulled ahead from Cameron Bailey. Now this is a 4-car small pack up in the front of the field, while Trent Dunham continues to lead. And we are still green flag racing here at Kentucky. Since we're still green, we're going to take a look at the run through of the field. Trent Dunham is your leader. Second is Charlie Rodriguez. Third, Chris Oliver. Fourth, Dylan Young. Fifth is Cameron Bailey. Sixth is Chaser. Oh, Chris Oliver's coming down pit road. We're going to have to hold off on that because there could be pit stops happening because Chris Oliver, he appears to be the only one down on pit road. As meanwhile, Noah Hart's gotten around the 5 of Austin Weiner, so that will extend at the moment the points lead Noah Hart has over both Weiner and Lamas. But we're keeping an eye out on some of these drivers, and there are some drivers coming down. Trent Dunham, Charlie Rodriguez, Cole Daly are on pit road now. Everybody else hasn't come down yet. Only the top 4 drivers came down pit road, but Dylan Young actually fell back somehow, some way. And Cameron Bailey has inherited the lead for the time being. Let's see if anybody else is coming down pit road or not. Oh, and we got a wreck! Charles Jackson, Austin Weiner involved. Noah Hart, the points leader as well. Nick Smith. I think Austin Weiner just spun it out and scraped the wall, but he's going to continue. But Noah Hart has bad damage, as too does Nick Smith and Charles Jackson. And now they're heading towards the pit wall. I'm surprised they did not hit the pit wall. They were driving straight into it. But that is going to be costly at the moment for Noah Hart because he might lose the points lead now. There's Austin Weiner, who was involved, but he's just got some scrapings. Other than that, he should be good to go to continue. But man, oh man. And now we have 2 separate packs of drivers. And the leader at the moment is Cameron Bailey, and we are past the halfway point. But let's see if the 10 or anybody else is coming down pit road, and it looks like they are. So we're going to check the pit lane camera to see who will be coming out as the first driver out of pit road. Now, Trent Dunham, Chris Oliver, Cole Daly, and Charlie Rodriguez all came down pit road before the caution came out. They may have gotten caught a lap down. Maybe they were going to be the leaders. But here they come off the track, heading towards the start-finish line. We'll see what's going to happen with this, as Cole Daly is the first car ahead of them. But we're checking pit road to see who's coming out first, and it looks like Jordan Kolb went with only fuel and maybe 2 tires, and he's coming out first. Then Cameron Bailey, and then it looks like Dylan Young. Then I believe that is Kyle Matthews, Henrietta Fitzwater, David Rivera, Rue McIntyre, Chris Michaels, Jessica Sheldon, Ian Dutta, Michael Norman, Sonny Hammond, and many more coming out of pit road at the moment. But now we are going to go up here to Cole Daly. Now, are they a lap down? They were a lap down, but I think they're probably going to be on the tail end of the lead lap. And Jordan Kolb may be your leader, but we'll know for certain. But anyways, we're going to take a look at what brought out the caution for the second time here at Kentucky. Well, here's a look at, this is almost the same thing to what happened to the 48 and the 15 earlier. Noah got very tight and was pushing up the track, and he got into the 5. And that's what got the 5, the 20, and the 16 collected. But the 20 hit the back of the 16 pretty hard. I don't think Nick Smith is going to be up to speed, but if he continues, he may cause problems for leaders. But let's take a look at the helicopter camera to see a good view of the hits these guys take. But yeah, Austin gets a good run, and then they go up into the wall, and Austin Weiner, I think all he does is just get some scrapings and a couple of hits. But other than that, I think he is going to continue. But Noah Hart, Charles Jackson, and Nick Smith may not be up to speed when we go green, but we'll see if any of those guys are going to retire. But now we will take you to the restart. Well, just like I thought, the first 4 cars in line, Cole Daly, Trent Dunham, Charlie Rodriguez, and Chris Oliver, are on the tail end of the lead lap as a result of that caution coming out with them on pit road. Jordan Kolb is your leader. Second is Cameron Bailey. Third, Dylan Young. Fourth, Kyle Matthews. And then fifth is Henrietta Fitzwater, and Noah Hart's going to get up to the front to be the first car lap down. Sixth is David Rivera. Seventh is Rue McIntyre. Eighth is Chris Michaels. Ninth is Chaser Jessica Sheldon. And Ian Dutta rounds out the top 10. Then it's Michael Norman, Chaser, in 11th. Then it's Sonny Hammond, Dylan Thero, Matt McIntyre, Zachary Fitzwater, Chris Washer, Cody Hagan, Nathan Hudson, Chaser Daniel Day, and Chris Dollarton. Then Fred Schaefer, Seth Cole, Chris Nelson, Danny Wells, Ibrahim, Cody Lamas, Tommy Mooney, Carlos Rodriguez, Henry Nova, Joshua Michaels, Austin LaPlante, Barney Taylor, Charles Jackson, Ian Siegel, Eric Burton, and Austin Weiner. Then Cole Daly, lap car of Noah Hart, Trent Dunham, Charlie Rodriguez, and Chris Oliver. After all that, only one car has gone over the wall and is out of the race, and that is the 20 of Nick Smith. But this is going to be an interesting restart. But Jordan Kolb is your leader. Green flag is out. And he's going to try to run the high line, and yeah, Noah Hart is not up to speed at all. We need to go to the 56. Keep an eye out, see if he doesn't start any problems. Right now, he's holding up Matthews, McIntyre, and Hammond. That is not good, and now he's going to hold up Chris Washer. This is not going to be good. If he gets in the way of somebody, this can be a problem here. But so far, they're keeping it together. Oh, 4 wide for a second. I'm surprised they managed to keep it together. But yeah, Noah Hart is not up to speed whatsoever. And it looks like, from the looks of it, Austin Weiner is up to speed. Charles Jackson's probably not up to speed. Charles Jackson's kind of up to speed, but not quite. But Noah Hart is definitely not up to speed at all. But let's go back up to the front, see who is the leader at the moment. And it looks like Cameron Bailey managed to get around Jordan Kolb. Where did Jordan Kolb go? Where is the 83? There he is. He's off the pace. I think he came down pit road. But it's Cameron Bailey as your leader at the moment. I say Jordan Kolb may have not gotten into his pit stall. That's my guess, but I saw him get out of pit road, but I'm almost wondering if he missed his pit stall and he had to come down pit road, but he wanted to stay up front so he could lead a lap. But at the moment, it's Cameron Bailey as your leader. And then the 4 drivers who pitted first are up ahead on the tail end of the lead lap. There is Noah Hart, who has fallen back. Now Austin Weiner, he will probably still be second in points most likely, but the points leader probably now is going to go back to Cody Lamas. And if so, he could leave with, right at the moment, it'd be 14 points between himself and Austin Weiner, but also it depends on where guys like Daniel Day and others are running. So the points, the top 8 in points can get shook up here after this race, but Cameron Bailey still leads the way, and he's now going to try to put the 18 of Charlie Rodriguez a lap down. But we'll see what's going to happen with this. And we are still green, and it is about 8 laps to go here at Kentucky, so we're winding down this race. And after this race, there's only one race left before drivers from 5th through 8th in points would be eliminated from contention. And then after the next race, we have the non-points Demolition Derby at Bristol, and then the season finale at Zenjoltis. But Cameron Bailey still leads. Then it's Dylan Young second. Third is David Rivera. Fourth, Ian Dutta. Fifth, Chris Michaels. Sixth, Dylan Thero. Seventh, Matt McIntyre. Eighth, Henrietta Fitzwater. Ninth, Michael Norman. 10th is Rue McIntyre. 11th is Jessica Shelton. 12th, Zachary Fitzwater. 13th, Sonny Hammond. 14th, Kyle Matthews. 15th, Nathan Hudson. 16th, Cody Hagan. 17th, Chris Washer. 18th is Daniel Day. 19th, Seth Cole. 20th is Tommy Mooney. 21st is Cody Lamas. 22nd is Chris Nelson. Then 23rd, Henry Nova. 24th, Joshua Michaels. 25th, Fred Schaefer. 26th, Austin LaPlante. 27th, Chris Dollarton. 28th, Carlos Rodriguez. 29th, Ibrahim. And then Ian Siegel, 30th. 31st is Barney Taylor. 32nd is Danny Wells. Oh, I heard wall scrapings up ahead or somewhere. But 33rd, Austin Weiner. 34th is Eric Burton. 35th, Charles Jackson. 36th would probably be Noah Hart, but I think he's still a lap down. Then Jordan Culp. No, 36th, Trent Dunham. 37th, Cole Daly. 38th, Chris Oliver. And 39th, Charlie Rodriguez. And now it goes back here to Cameron Bailey. Checking drivers out, and it's only Nick Smith, but Noah Hart, Jordan Culp are a lap down, but Jordan Culp was the leader, but I believe I'm going to take a look at Jordan Culp after the race to see what happened to the 83 car to get him a lap down and not as the leader. But Cameron Bailey's just been working hard on trying to get around the 18 of Charlie Rodriguez to put him a lap down, while meanwhile we have a battle for second between Dylan Young and David Rivera. But they're coming down to take 2 to go here at Kentucky. I don't know if anybody can get to Cameron Bailey unless... Is the caution out? No, we're still green. I thought I saw the caution lights come on. That would have been the race right there. The only hope for Dylan Young to get to Cameron Bailey is to get a line going, or the cars up ahead slow down the 10 car. And I see Trent Dunham coming on pit road. Does this mean drivers are going to have to come down and pit this lap? We'll find out, but the white flag is out for Cameron Bailey. Cameron Bailey is trying to win his first race of the season. Let's see if he has to come down pit road this time. He's slowing down. Is he coming down? No, he's not. So that means Cameron Bailey is going to win the Kentucky 400 here at Kentucky Speedway. What a moment for Cameron Bailey to get his first win of the season. Second race in a row a non-chaser wins a race in the chase. Great run for that 10 car. He had been stepping it up every single race I've seen him run. Meanwhile, there's a car in the grass. It was the 21 of Chris Oliver. And uh-oh, there's going to be cars. Oh, they're wrecking on trying to come down pit road. Oh, and Danny Wells gets hit hard and goes up in the air. Now, before we take a look at the results, we need to take a look and see what happened to the 83 of Jordan Kolb to cause him to go a lap down. Well, here's a look at what happened with the 83 of Jordan Kolb. He comes down into his pit stall. Something goes wrong with his pit stop, and he doesn't get enough fuel in the car, and that's why he somehow got the lead coming off of pit road, and then later on, he had to come down to get more fuel, but it cost him dearly, so that was a tough break for the 83 of Jordan Kolb. But now, we are now going to take you to the official results. Well, now we will take you to the results. Cameron Bailey is going to get his first win of his NASCAR Walmart Cup Series career. The second straight race, a non-chaser, is going to win a race during the chase races. Second is Dylan Young. He's getting closer and closer to getting a win. Third, David Rivera, who led early on, and he's going to come away with a third place finish, but still a great run for him. Ian Dutta comes away with a 14th place finish, great run for him. And then once again getting a good finish was the 7 of Chris Michaels. He gets a top 5, great run for him. Then it was Dylan Thero 6th, Matt McIntyre 7th, Henrietta Fitzwater 8th, Rue McIntyre all of a sudden got a 9th place finish. And then rounding out the top 10 is the highest running of the chase drivers, Michael Norman. Then the rest of the top 20 was Jessica Sheldon, who was a chaser. Then Zachary Fitzwater, Kyle Matthews, Sonny Hammond, Nathan Hudson. Let's see the top 10, see if there were any former chasers in there. No, so the only chase driver, oh yeah, Matt McIntyre. So only 2 chase drivers who started the chase off finished in the top 10. But anyways, Cody Hagan 16th, chaser Daniel Day in 17th, eliminated contender Chris Washer 18th, Seth Cole 19th, 20th, Tommy Mooney. Then Cody Lamas got 21st, then Chris Nelson, Henry Nova, Joshua Michaels, and then eliminated contender Fred Schaefer, eliminated contender Austin LaPlante, Carlos Rodriguez, Ibrahim, Chris Dollarton, Ian Siegel. Then it was Barney Taylor, who's a contender at the moment, Danny Wells, eliminated contender, then Eric Burden, Charles Jackson, contender Cole Daly, eliminated contender Chris Oliver, then eliminated contender Charlie Rodriguez. Austin Weiner got 38th. He ended up going a lap down. Then Jordan Kolb and Trent Dunham was the top 40, and then Noah Hart, who came in the points leader, gets 41st, and then it was Nick Smith. Now, the point situation that came into this race, Noah Hart came in with only a 2 points lead over both Austin Weiner and Cody Lamas. Now, Austin Weiner finished 3 spots ahead of Noah Hart, but Cody Lamas finished 20 spots ahead of Noah Hart and 17 ahead of Austin Weiner. But also, let's take a look at Daniel Day, who finished in the 17th spot. So I believe going into the next race, Cody Lamas is going to have a 17 points lead over Austin Weiner going into the next race at Homestead. But that is the last chance race for drivers who were 5th and 8th in points coming in and coming out of the race. But coming up next is going to be Homestead. But thank you guys for watching Kentucky. I am Levi McIntyre, here to show you the results and the points. But until next race, so long, everybody.